Hey, what's going on, guys? In today's video, I'm going to be talking a little bit more about Dividend Aristocrats and Dividend King investing, as well as cover some of the Robinhood Challenge with my portfolio and my strategy moving forward. So let's get right to the video. If you guys are new here to the channel, don't really know what it's about, I talk about all things investing with my tips, tricks, and insight into the stock market. So if that's something that interests you and you're looking to increase the size of your portfolio, then make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell notification to be alerted when new videos come out. If you guys are unfamiliar with the Robinhood Challenge, what it is basically I take $100 each week and invest it right into the stock market, and you can see real time my moves through following my Twitter account where I tweet it out, or you can just wait along for YouTube videos to come out with the update. I post them every single week, typically on Mondays or Tuesdays, so stay tuned for those. So the first thing I want to do here for you guys is jump right into my Robinhood portfolio. So I'm going to start screen recording here so you can see it right up on the screen. You should be able to see it now. And here we go. So over the past day, I actually ended up losing just a tiny bit of money on the stock market, down about $2.74. Over the past week, I've lost about $5, and the past month, we've gained about $76.82. And over the past 3 months, which is pretty much the duration of this challenge, we've made a total of $145.37. Now, the best part about this is Robinhood doesn't do a great job of tracking the dividend payments you receive. And if you guys follow along, you know that I am doing this all primarily for dividend companies. So if I head right into my Robinhood history here, you can see the dividend payments that have been rolling in, and it's starting to ramp up a little bit. I mean, I know this isn't a ton of money, but just think about for the future, a couple years down the road, this is really going to add up and start making a significant help to increase the size of my portfolio. So let's just cover the moves I did for the past week. I'm going to pull this screen up here. You can see the first thing I actually did was I sold off all my shares of PSEC. PSEC was a monthly dividend company. I just invested the rest of my money in each week afterwards because it was just such a low cost. I was getting paid monthly from it, and I knew it was going down, but basically my plan was to sell it and then be able to capitalize on the money that I had collected in there and put it into a bigger company. So I sold PSEC and went right into buy another monthly dividend paying company. Now this monthly dividend paying company is Realty Income. I'm sure a ton of you are familiar with it. Total, I've made $24 off of them, not including the dividend payments that they've made, but I bought another share of them, and then that brought my average cost up a little bit to $73.13. Now, it's interesting, they dipped a little bit right before earnings. You can see this past week, they're down 3.52%. They beat earnings, so I'm expecting a little bit of a jump back, a bounce back, if you will, from this position. Over the past month, they're down 2.51%, but year over year, they are a ridiculously good company. You can just see over the past 5 years, they're up 63%, and I was checking out on their website earlier. Their growth has just been phenomenal over the years that have passed, so it's definitely a company that if you're unaware of, you might want to check them out and consider them. Obviously, do your own research into any of the stock picks that you guys end up going with, but these are just what I am investing in for my portfolio. So you can see $100 was initiated right into my account. Actually, something interesting here, Washington Prime Group was one that I actually got from a free share. So let me just jump right into the free stock section here. You can see my past invites. If I scroll down to the bottom here, Oleg M, thank you for using the referral code. Obviously, you got a free stock. I did as well. I'm interested to know if you are watching this video, what stock did you get? Leave it in the comment section down below just so I know. All right, and so I sold that today. I couldn't sell it right away because you got to wait like 2 business days to be able to sell free stocks that you get on here. So I just recently sold that, and will be investing that money into another company. So the next thing I did was invest in Pfizer. Pfizer is interesting. They're a pharmaceutical company. I tend to do a little bit worse on pharmaceutical companies. I usually invest and then a big lawsuit hits one of them or something. And I mean, this is just a repeated pattern. So definitely be wary if you see this video and you're considering Pfizer. And I just said it, you might not have as good a luck. It might not be as good of a position that you might think. But anyways, Pfizer is one very solid, very big company. They're on a dip, especially over the past week. They're down 2%. And the past year, they're also down 16.6%. So on the dip, trying to buy in, see if we can ride some momentum. They're interesting. They were a Dividend Aristocrat company before. They actually are not, but they're working back towards it, I believe. So hopefully we'll see them in that family soon. The next move that I had this week was buy another share of AO Smith. AO Smith was one that was really high up there for me. I think it was 15% at one point. And so the way I look at AO Smith, they hit earnings, but I still think there's a lot of room for them to grow in the future. They were up a lot for me, and I think this is a little bit of a dip. This was more of an earnings dip for them. And they haven't even really been dipping that much. You can see over the past week, they're actually positive in the past month as well. So they're still continuing this upward trend, and I just want to be a part of that. And those were all the moves I made in the Robinhood app for this week. I want to know from you guys personally, do you invest in Dividend Aristocrats or Dividend Kings, and what are you holding? So let me know in the comment section down below. But I actually wanted to talk about Dividend Aristocrats, Dividend Kings, and basically my strategy with investing. So if you didn't know what Dividend Aristocrats were, they're companies that have been increasing their dividend payments for 25 plus consecutive years, and then Dividend Kings have been doing the same thing, only they've been doing it for 50 plus consecutive years. So these are really solid companies who really believe and have the core value of paying their investors back, and any profits they make, they want to just give back to those people who invested in them. So that's really good when you're looking for investments to make. You know that the company is still going to be paying you, even if there's something like a recession that comes by and people are worried about stock price and whatnot. You know that it's going to be a consistent payment that you're able to rely on, and you know that these companies are going to work their hardest to not have to cut any of their dividends. So that's really interesting, and that's one of the main reasons why I really like investing in them. Another reason is because there's a lot of uncertainty around the market. Now, I'm not saying I'm trying to time the market in any way, because I feel like there are definitely some riskier moves that I should and could be making right now, but I really just want to get a ground layer, fundamental layer for my investment portfolio started. I want to make sure that I have a really solid ground level. That way, in times of recession or down times, I'm still going to be doing okay. And I don't want to just take a bunch of risks right now because my own financial situation, I know that if I needed some of this money, I still could sell off. A lot of these stocks have a lot of value. I mean, I just graduated college. I was working throughout college, so I did save up a little bit of money, and I do have an emergency fund in place, but I mean, this is a little bit more liquid than having those riskier investments if they ended up going down. So that's something that's interesting. And then also, I fully expect my investment strategy to shift, especially if we hit something like a recession, where I'll still buy a lot of these solid companies, but I'm going to definitely take some risks with technology companies. Some that I really do like are companies like Square. I think they're very solid. I've been invested in them before and just sold off around earnings times just to recognize some gains. I did a little options trading with them. If you were following my channel a while ago, you would have seen those videos. And then also companies like Tesla. So these are really great companies that I want to be involved with. It's just not the right time for me. Not necessarily trying to time the market, but just personal reasons. I don't really feel comfortable putting my money into them quite yet, but definitely companies that I want to be. And then also even more expensive companies like Amazon. Amazon's one that I want to be in. Anything over like $200 is just a little bit out of my price range right now for the Robinhood Challenge. I do have other investments in other brokerages, so that's always something to consider. I do play it just a little bit differently in those other brokerages, so they're not the exact same portfolio. And I actually want to start a new M1 Finance account as well, so I could really get a completely different structure to it, because a lot of people are used to this one way dividend investing. Everybody, I feel like most YouTubers right now that are in the finance realm are just hounding dividends, and I'm kind of along the same path. I really do like dividend investing, and it's awesome because it's more predictable. You know your returns that you're going to be getting. And then a lot of people are saying growth, which is also a very good option, but I want to balance it out. Right now, I'm primarily focused on these strong, solid dividend companies, and then there's definitely going to be some growth mixed in. Just haven't started that portion of the portfolio yet, so definitely stay tuned for stuff like that. Overall, though, I think the challenge and the portfolio has been doing pretty good for a 6% return over 3 months. That's really, it was almost 7% too, so that's really not that bad. I feel very comfortable with where I'm at right now, and compared to the risk tolerance that I had before, I mean, I was making kind of ridiculous options investments before, similar to gambling. It was just not a really great thing. I was starting to refine my strategy a little bit, but this is just much more passive. I can just invest in these companies, don't really have to worry about checking my portfolio every 3 seconds to make sure everything's all good, and it just helps me sleep at night. So this investment strategy is just perfect for me. This is exactly what I want to be doing, and I look to continue this for the foreseeable future. So if you guys are enjoying the challenge, you did like this video, make sure that you drop down and leave it a like, and then let me know I'm wondering, are you guys invested in any of those Dividend Aristocrats, in any Dividend Kings? Definitely let me know in the comment section. I want to know what you're involved in. So thank you for checking out this video, guys, and everyone have a great day.